Welcome everyone. My name is Manish Shah and I'm the Midwest Chapter Lead for Holistic Science Charitable Research Foundation. In my day job, I'm the Senior Associate Dean for R&D and Innovation at the Lake Forest Graduate School of Management. Today's topic is Mind and its Mysteries. The talk will be conducted in a question and answer format. Let me introduce today's speaker, holistic science expert Sailesh Anandji, to you. Dr. Sailesh Mehta, or we call him Dr. Sailesh Anandji, is a practicing ophthalmologist who owns a hospital in Vadodara, India. From his childhood, he was curious about the deeper truths of life. He came in touch with self-realized holistic science, Shri M. Patel, and through his grace, Dr. Mehta attained self-realization in 1977. Dr. Mehta is a celibate and is deeply experienced in the field of holistic inner science. He devotes his time to studying, researching, and spreading the message of holistic inner science. In his quest to spread the message of holistic science, he has traveled to countries such as USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. His speeches on holistic science have been well received at national and international conferences. He is the author of several books which include Introduction to Holistic Science and Integral Living and Science of Liberation. Welcome, Sailesh Anandji.
Yes, greetings to all of you.
Yeah, last month, Sailesh Anandji, we talked about holistic science aphorisms for happy and harmonious living, both in our personal and professional lives. So today's topic is mind and its mysteries. So let me start with the first question. Sailesh Anandji, what is mind and how is it formed?
Okay, so yes, that's a great topic. And before I really go into the specific answer, let me have the little broader basics. That world over, if you see, so many people have been trying to study, understand, control the mind in one or other way. The psychologists, psychiatrists, there are other people, and the people have been talking of conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, power of subconscious mind, how to make use of it, and so on and so forth. And at the other corner, there are people who have been talking of how to control mind, how to make your mind still, how to quieten the mind, whether through meditative practices or whatnot. Despite all these efforts and studies and researches for the, I would say, centuries together, still, if we look at our own mind and the things as they are, still there are some unanswered questions, some unanswered areas, or something still keeps on puzzling. If I come to the specific thing, we as common people sometimes do get puzzled with our own mind. So having said that basics, let's enter into this very interesting and useful subject, I would say, that what's mind, how does it function, how does it get formed. So let me put a simple humorous question. Have you ever thought who drives us or how we are driven in our life day in and day out? The people say, oh, I am my cell phone driver and whatnot. But if we look before our body acts, before even speech comes out, there are so many inner processes which are happening within us, and we can say it is a relative inner self or the mind which functions. In fact, it is not only the mind, but it is mind, reflective consciousness, intellect, and ego. All the four things, shortly to say, so many inner things happen before really the outer action comes up. So it is our relative inner self which is driving us, and that relative inner self is again under the influence of so many things like opinions, beliefs, and our visions, so on and so forth. So now let's come to mind. So each one of us has experienced, suppose today is Sunday evening at your end, and so many people may have received your invitation to join the holistic inner science talk, but their mind would have said, no, no, let's go to such and such friend's home, let's finish, go to movie, let's go to outside or something. So the mind at each instant shows us several thoughts or several options. And then there is an inner parliamentary system So the reflective consciousness, no sooner my mind says that, okay, let's go to this friend's house, sitting here, my reflective conscious may show the friend's house. So reflective conscious wanders without any ticket, without any boundaries. Sitting here in India, it can come to your home in USA, and you can come to my home in India. So that is the job of reflective consciousness. Intellect weighs pros and cons, what is in my benefit and what is not, from the perspective it is wanting. Sometimes it has a business perspective, sometimes it has a social perspective, sometimes it is the perspective of inner development. So accordingly, the intellect weighs the benefits and losses, and once the decision is taken between mind and intellect, or reflective consciousness and intellect, that Mr. Ego precedent signs it, and the action starts. So this is how the inner system, inner parliamentary system of our relative inner self works, and we collectively can term it as a mind, though there are all four components. So mind has the function of showing different thoughts, various thoughts, and if we observe our thoughts, let's say if I observe and plot the graph of 1 week, what all different types of thoughts my mind is showing, I can come to know what all complexes or knots I have brought in my mind, or what is the kind of mind I have. So this is how the mind functions. We'll go to the sub questions: how to deal with the mind, or how to control mind, can it be controlled or not, subsequently as the talk progresses. But I hope for the introduction, if we all start looking within us, there is another very interesting question asked by somebody: what is more important, within or without? And usually we always say the things happening outside us, circumstances, persons, my boss behaving with me in particular fashion, I am getting promotion or not getting promotion due to me, and some traffic is very much jammed or not. So all outer things are more important to me, but the holistic inner science makes you understand that the what is going on within us is more important than what's going outside. And even the Western philosopher Ralph Emerson or so, he said that what lies in front or what lies behind us are tiny matters as compared to what lies within us. So that little signifies the importance of what is going on within us, especially at the level of mind. So please go ahead with your further questions.
So, how is mind formed? How does it come into being, into existence?
Oh, okay, we can deal with this question. I thought you will first ask me how to deal with the mind, but anyway, this is an interesting question, and I wonder whether all the researchers or all the psychiatrists or psychologists or the mind researchers have really been able to find out how the mind is being formed. But the holistic scientist A.M. Patel, and popularly known as Dada Bhagwan, came out with a revolutionary revelation that mind is formed by opinion and language. So opinion is the father of the mind, and mother is the language of the mind. So now, having known this revelation, if you go back and try to see our own mind, it really is true that for each and everything, for each and every person, or for each and every event, or for each and everything, I have given expressed the opinions, good or bad, ought to be, ought not to be, should be, should not be, this way, that way, all the dual opinions. And when they are being expressed in the language which you are speaking, the mind gets born. So mind is getting formed by opinions and language. And if you want to get rid of the mind, or if you want to sort of conquer the mind, then you should focus at the opinions. If you can get opinion free, your mind will not be puzzling you. Or short of that, if you cannot get opinion free, but if you get into the positive opinions, oh, Rajni Bhai is a good person, after all he has a very cordial attitude and is helping, though he sometimes can speak outspoken. So try to have the positive opinions about each and every person you are coming across in your life, or for each and every event. and the mind will be like that. So opinion and language, particularly opinion, is the foundation for the mind coming into existence. And then there is a subtle mystery or subtle secret also, that my own decisions and projections as living as I am. Everybody knows I am. I'm name bearer. I'm Shailesh. I'm doctor. I'm professor. I'm dean, whatever. And no, being living within, at the core of being, as an existential state of being, living as I am, always knowingly or unknowingly, I get mixed with, or I sign the dual decisions, should be, should not be, good, bad. I would, I definitely want this, I definitely don't want this, whatever. So this inner decisions and projections which are being continually laid down by me, there I'm attracting the outside atoms and molecules, and they are getting charged, and that's where the causal mind is getting born. This is very, 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 very subtle, and many people may not really will reach to that point, but still it is important for a few of the real interested scholars or researchers to know that where at the subtle level really the mind gets formed. And my present mind keeps on showing me the thoughts which I may even don't like at the moment, or my understanding doesn't match with what my mind is showing, but my mind was formed based on my previous beliefs, previous opinions, my previous decisions and projections, and now it is showing me the effect. Now it is getting emptied out. So there are two parts of mind. One is the gross mind, which is continually showing us thoughts liked by or unliked by, relevant or irrelevant, and it goes on like a machinery or a non-ending film. There is no stop or pause switch, but they are based on my previous beliefs or previous decisions or projections. And at the same time, I'm entering into new decisions, new projections, new things inside based on my present understanding and present convictions, and that's giving birth to the causal mind or the subtle mind. So there are two pertinent parts of the mind. One is the gross mind, which is getting emptied out by showing us various thoughts time in and out, and another is the causal mind, which is getting born at the level of my inner state of being, living as I am, having decisions, projections based, of course, on a dual opinions. So I think that will clarify it a little more.
Yep, wonderful. And so that gives rise to the next question. There are several practices that people follow to quiet their mind and supposedly to control their mind. People do meditation and some other exercises. Is it possible at all to control the mind?
Oh, this is a very, very important, pertinent question. People try to control, means quieten or still the mind. In fact, the people doing meditation says that when your mind is having zero thought, that means you have achieved. That means, and so doing that, I wonder if they really succeed. Most of the people get frustrated that no sooner I try to sit down and close my eyes, in fact, my mind should start showing me more and more thoughts which I really don't want. So an interesting story. Once a professor, like may not be like you, but I can humorously say like you, came and said that my mind is very hyperactive and it's always running and running fast and showing me. So can you stop my mind and I'll be a very happy person on the planet? And the holistic scientist said, I can do that for you, but please bring 5 witnesses first, because then you should not have complained. Oh, why not? All these are my friends and they will definitely sign for me as a witness. So holistic scientist humorously, smilingly said, no sooner I do that, you will be absent-minded. Would you like that? Will your wife allow you to stay at home? Oh, nobody. We have separate homes from that. So mind is as such a useful navigation tool. We need a GPS or GPRS, whatever you say, a system navigation tool. So mind is really a navigation tool for our life. It's a useful tool, but people don't know what is mind and how to deal with the mind. So they try to stop the thoughts, especially the thoughts which are not liked by them. Suppose my mind starts throwing me the thoughts which I really don't love, then I try to stop my mind. Oh, stop this type of thoughts. Oh, I don't like this, and I get disturbed. But my mind doesn't listen me. It doesn't stop. It doesn't allow me to sleep also if I don't know how to handle it. So the real fact is, mind is the gross mind, or the mind which is getting discharged mind, we can say. Discharging mind is like a physical machinery. The holistic scientist termed it is a physical machinery which is functioning on its own. It's like a non-ending film. Everything in the world has a stop switch and pause switch, but the mind has no stop switch and no pause switch. Endlessly it will keep on showing you the various thoughts even in your sleep. So now the question is how to use the mind in our best interest. So the simple thing is, as we said, there's a parliamentary system inside. So I should sign or agree with the thoughts which are in line with my goal or my aim. Suppose at this time you're inviting me for the holistic inner science talk, and my mind may show me the various different options. Oh, what's this getting tied down to this thing? Let me go to a garden, let me go to a friend's house. But if I'm aware, then I'll not sign with the other thoughts which are not in line with my aim or goal, but I'll say yes only to the thought which is in line with me. So this happens several times in our life. It may not allow us, or it may try to detract or deter us from our aim or goal. So if we are aware, we'll allow the all other thoughts to pass away. It's something like this: so many cars are passing on the street or a road, and so many people in India are passing on the streets. I never pay attention to who is passing by, except one who is required by me, or one who is in whom I'm interested. So the thought which is in line of my aim or goal, or which is in my self interest, I should say yes to it, and the action will start. All other thoughts I should allow to pass away, and I should not get bothered by it. I'll give another humorous example. Suppose Rajni bhai or you take me to some interesting movie, and there may be some scenes, horror scenes or tragic scenes, or some scenes may be going on the screen which may not be liked by me. Shall I start fighting with the screen? Shall I tear the screen? No, I'm enjoying in my chair. If not like, I'll close my eyes and chant something and listen something else. But I never fight with the scenes going on the screen. Similarly, the mind is like a continuously ongoing movie. It goes on and on from birth to death and even beyond. So just view as an ongoing film. Use the thoughts which are good or in your line of your progress, and say yes. Allow all other thoughts to pass away. That's the real way you can use or manage your mind, rather than what I would say control your mind. Because control is really a misnomer word which has probably misled the large population. Because control means the mind should behave the way you want it. Mind should show you the thoughts only the way you want it. But really it doesn't happen. But you can definitely make use of the mind as you want it, or in your interest, or you can manage your mind. Second important key I will give you is, supposingly the mind is showing us various thoughts which we feel that may detract us, or may lead to our downfall, or may drag us to something which we really don't like or should not be there. And I'm not signing, but still it's bothering me. So engage your mind or your inner self into something positive or something inspirational. Let that shout go on, but we are actively engaged into something different, positive, inspirational, or purifying, and we pass our time keeping ourselves engaged actively into the different corner. The third key: suppose my mind is showing me something, passionate thoughts, or something thoughts, or I would say unlawful, passionate thoughts toward other genders. And then I can start asking the inner energy of the opposite end, that, oh Lord, give me the inner energy so that I can remain pure by my mind, speech, and body, not to have any such perverted, passionate thoughts. So I'm creating the other positive pole against the negativity of my mind. That's the third key. And sometimes, if required, I can have the confession, apology, and resolution within my own heart, bearing in mind whosoever I'm respecting as my supreme self or whatever. So these are the different ways the people can make best use of the mind. And most importantly, it has enormous powers, not only mind, but really to say reflective consciousness and your inner self as the positive ego. So whatever aim or goal I'm deciding for myself, whether it is in a relative or a real side, that okay, let my mind, speech, and body oblige others or make others happy, or I want to achieve this. And if I remember my aim or goal 5 times in the morning, remain sincere, work hard, and if I believe, pray. Why pray? Because it calms down my ego, it opens my inner doors for the universal energy to flow in, and it improves my performance and improves the universal help also. Then believe you will be able to achieve anything you want, anything you have decided, anything you have projected, anything you have remained. So the holistic scientist says that on a positive note, if you understand how the inner self machinery is functioning, mind especially, and the other components, and if you have a correct decision, correct aim, correct goal, and if you remain sincere, work hard, and pray, and the nature is there to help, rest of the work will be done by the nature. So the Rhonda Byron wrote a book, Secret, and
Mhm.
they came out with the idea that whatever you are projecting, you are attracting to yourself. But there is something more deeper down to that. Yes, they did came halfway down. I must appreciate that part, that it is you who are responsible for your own self. You are, but then I go a little deeper down that there are two components. One, the discharge mind, which may or may not be directly showing you the thoughts which exactly you want, but it's your inner decision, your inner projection which you are projecting, and that goes in the nature, and there is a time lag. Immediately it will not come through, but at particular time the nature may give you the evidences to fulfill that. So that part of the puzzle or the solution to the puzzle probably is, I would say, missing there or should be added there, that what that I am deciding now, but I'm not getting it, because what I'm getting is what I have asked beforehand. I have formed my mind beforehand, and now whatever I'm deciding or asking will be fructified in future. It goes into the natural computerized system, and the natural regulatory system starts functioning at an appropriate time. So this is an overall bearing. So how to manage the mind? Really the mind cannot be made thoughtless or a zero. Even if it appears, so it may be for a moment or so, and they become very, very happy. Oh, for a moment, my mind became thoughtless and I achieved something at meditation. But really, that's not the meditation. Meditation, in real sense, is to know and to see, keep on observing neutrally what everything is going on within and without, especially at the level of the mind. So those who are really fortunate, those who really get the vision of self-realization from the holistic scientist, they become the knower and seer of their own mind. They do not get entangled with the mind, but they remain the knower and seer, and that's the best way to control the mind.
Wonderful. So this is a great introduction, Shailesh Anandji, to what mind is and whether meditative practices can help, and that the fact that it's a misnomer to believe that you can have a mind without thoughts or you can control your mind, and some really excellent prescriptions on
But
how to
but let
manage
me
your
add
mind. Go
one
ahead.
sentence, Manish bhai, let me add one sentence, not to be understood that meditation is useless. No, that's not the
Hmm.
heart of my saying.
Sure.
Uh, from all the time wandering attitudes, when you start meditating the way you know it, at least you start becoming introvert, you start becoming internalized, and there is some coolness or some calmness. uh, but that is an initial step, I would say.
Right.
That's not the journey at the end. So yes, it's a useful beginning practice, I would say. But what's required to be added, complemented, and supplemented to that is a real correct knowledge of what is mind, what is relative inner self, how does it function, and more important than that, who am I? Who am I? Who is meditating? Who is meditating? Meditate on known or unknown. We are meditating most of the times on not known or unknown things. Without knowing, how can I meditate? And lastly, the meditation is 24 into 7 with open eyes practice. But that will touch upon some other time. That's not in the purview of today's talk. Let's talk more on the mind only.
Yeah, no, that's a fascinating subject, and we'll definitely touch on in our future sessions. So we have our first question now from the audience.
Dr. Shailashananji, good evening to you. You
Can
talked
you say a little loudly for me?
I'm sorry?
Can you talk a little louder and please introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you. This is Rajnikant Patel from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm retired right now, and I'm writing books on children. And you talked many things, introduction to the mind, but one thing you said couple of questions on opinion. You know, in everyday interaction, we have to give opinion. This is right, this is wrong, this whatever. Then what are the consequences? And then you said positive opinion is always helpful. But what are the consequences of positive or negative opinions?
Okay, so this leads us to the another very interesting area of opinions. And Rajni Bhai has rightly observed, I would say, that each moment and for each individual or for each event, we do give opinions, positive or negative. In fact, we are in the habit of giving opinions. We can't remain without opinions. The people say, don't become judgmental. Just know. But how many of us can remain really just like a knower or without being judgmental or without giving opinions? So what is the first and foremost impact or the effect of opinion? And I would say that no sooner, especially when I have negative opinions, that no, Rajni is not a good person, it doesn't really bother Rajni Bhai. He may be enjoying his way. He may be enjoying and living his way, but it does bother me. Because no sooner Manish Bhai talks of Rajni Bhai, I get annoyed and I lose my harmony and I lose my happiness and I lose my positive energy. So opinion is my own binding. I am getting bound on my own internet web. I'm getting bound by my own web of opinions and especially the negative ones. So with this knowledge, if you observe yourself in whenever you have spare time, that what is all bugging me or bothering me, and most of the times you will find that it is of my negative remarks, my negative opinions, my negative criticisms which is really bothering me. And the people for whom I'm giving negative opinions may not really be bothered, they may not really be affected also. Oh, he is in habit of giving such comments all the times. They will just rub me off, but I will be getting bothered. So as against that, when I do not have yet the key how to remain opinionless or non-judgmental, I rather switch my gear from negative to positive. That okay, the Rajni Bhai talks too much, but he's a very helping person. He's a very cordial person. He's a good-hearted person. So try to find positives, and there are always positives in each and every person. So here the holistic scientist very fondly uses the analogy of a garden. That in a garden, each tree or a plant is a different one, but each one having its own unique fruit or a flower. And we never go to a rose plant and complain about a thorn, and we never ask from a rose for a blueberry, and we never go to blueberry and ask for a beautiful flower like a rose. So similarly, each individual on this planet or on this earth, be it in a family, be it at a workplace, be it a NGO or a social group or wherever you are interacting, try to find what one knows, what are the fruits and flowers of each personality in terms of abilities and positive virtues. So that will surpass your negative opinions and will put you into positive opinions. And what happens with positive opinions? So first I get benefited, because no sooner I have the positive attitude or no sooner I express appreciation or my gratitude, I get uplifted, I get happy, smile comes onto my face, my speech becomes nice, the other will love to hear that speech, and I'm definitely entering into a positive circle and multiplication of the positivities within and without, and the other people will also cooperate and they will get bonded to me at the level of heart. So I will not have to enforce that you do this and don't do that, but they will love to work for me. So this is a way that for yourself individually as well as interconnectedly, you will definitely have a total transformational change with a positive opinions, I would say. So that was the step one for all of us. I would say we can simply easily do that, that after all he or she is a good person. And second step, when I know that, okay, when I'm moving in a garden, some plants are very having the trees and branches very curved and some are straight. Do we give opinion? No. We understand that this is just a natural formation. This is just a natural creation. Similarly, all human beings are also natural creations, though all having different personalities. Can we say that all should be scientists only? Then who will do the job of carpenter and who will do the job of painter? So the nature has a unique system that you need all types of personalities. Even you need a robbers and thief also, because your kitchen doesn't run without a drainage system, though it is underground. So they are also required in a society, so to say, in a natural grand scheme. So when we understand that all these are natural formations and I should just be observing them. So once the holistic scientist took us at Abu to, and we were visiting several different spiritual disciplines and their establishments. So he said that we are going to museum, and in a museum you have right to see everything, but you cannot take anything to your own home. Can we take anything home from a museum? We can see, we can enjoy, but we cannot take anything from to home. So we started scratching our head. What does it mean? It means very simple thing: move, enjoy the world throughout your life the way you want, but don't give opinions. No sooner you give opinions, you are taking the thing with you, inside you, positively or negatively. You are getting bound to that particular thing, and you are giving birth to a new mind. So he said, move, enjoy the life across the world the way you want. But if you learn the art of enjoying without giving opinions, you will become free from within. So opinions take away our inner freedom, it binds us. I hope this clarifies the things.
Yes, yes, this is very good, and thank you very much about.
But yes, but these are the subtler subjects, and still the holistic sciences has made it very, very simple. Each sentence, each area is worth research, or worth research. What I mean to say is a little thought and putting it such that the people at large, the global community, the global mankind, irrespective of faith, caste, color, creed, nationality, literary or economic status, gets benefited by this simple knowledge of our own life and living, which every human being has and which every human needs it. Now, having said that, if I go back to Manish Bhai's question, a complementary part to that, how can we control our mind? And first part I said, and the second part which is coming to my heart now is our own mind, rather our own relative inner self, can be contained by the correct knowledge. Suppose I have a water, and water can be contained by any container, maybe a glass, maybe a pot, or maybe anything jug. Similarly, our mind can be contained by correct knowledge. Mind is always seeking resolving answers. Why Rajni Bhai behaved with me like this? I am always cordial and loving and helping and positive to him. Why he is making negative comments? Why? Why to me? How? These are the questions which is puzzling us. Why such and such difficult circumstances come to me only? Why the God is unfavorable to me only? Why he is always putting me to test? Why injustice to me? So many questions our mind and relative inner self is asking us time in and time out, for our family members, for our colleagues, for the situations, for the eventualities. As soon as we cannot give the resolving answer to our own inner self, it will not be contained, or it will not become quiet. So the most important part is we should have a guiding light. a correct knowledge light of how everything is happening within and without, what are the natural laws, what is the natural regulatory system, how the favorable or unfavorable circumstances gather or disperse around me, how whether any particular individual outside me are independent to favor or to hitch me. So when these guiding light answers are known to me through the holistic science of my own life living and human life as a unique live experiment, along with the inner and outer happenings and the natural regulatory system along with the natural laws, on the spot my guiding light will be able to give dissolving convincing answer to my mind, and my mind will become quiet, still. And that's really the key to controlling our mind. Agitated mind which is asking us the questions, why to me, how, when, why. So that's the second part I missed in that, and I'm adding. Okay.
Thank you very much for the explanation and very good advice you gave us on the positivity of the mind and opinion. Now, earlier you said how to manage the mind,
Yes.
and my intellect get into gear and says, how is it possible not to get some thoughts just wander away when a a thought comes in there, you dwell into it, you figure out this or that. How is it possible not to get out, even if you don't want to get into that? That's something my intellect is bothering me.
No, you are absolutely right. That's what I said, that there will be so many thoughts, and many thoughts will try to take you into different directions. And that's here your discretionary understanding comes into play. Suppose I'm talking to you, and at 8 I have the surgery and I have to go to clinic. And my mind may say me that, okay, let me relax for 15 minutes, let me hear the music, and I'll go to my surgery half an hour late. What happens? Let me refresh myself. But then my discretionary understanding will tell me so many people will be waiting, my anesthetist will be waiting, my patients will be unnecessarily waiting. Let's go there, and it is change of work itself is a refreshionary. So I can convince my mind. So the mind shows me different thoughts. Let me give you the example. When I came first time to USA, there were so many different things to be seen and so many different things to be spent time on, and my mind did drag me to so many different things. But my discretionary understanding every time came to my rescue and told, look, for what purpose you have come here? Doesn't it give you more enjoyment? Doesn't it give you more happiness? Yes, yes, it gave me more happiness, more inner happiness. Is it not superior to what you are trying to get through going to your mind through along with your mind? No, no, you see. So that's how that leads me to another important aspect, that if you live according to your mind, if you are going to be driven by your mind, you may be lost in your life,
Wow.
because mind will be showing you various contradictory things. Once it will show you go according to this aim, and second time it will show no, 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 let's enjoy and let's have recreation and let's do that, and you will be lost of the track and you will not be focused, you will not be able to achieve the thing you want to achieve. So holistic science says, never live by your mind alone, but use your mind, manage your mind, use your mind as a tool. Go by your discretionary vision, discretionary understanding, what is in your interest and what is not in your interest. And if your discretionary vision or discretionary understanding, in a scriptural language it is said as vivek. Vivek means thoughtful pondering over each thing before taking a decision and acting onto it. It's not a spontaneous reaction, but it is a response to the mind. And that way, I can definitely be a wise person to go along my track. Otherwise, the people who are living according to mind, they get just lost, and that's why the people are getting into big troubles. They may be having very success, they may be having good money and good name, and all of a sudden their mind gets crazy. Okay, let's start this big venture, I can do this, and without having proper thoughts they jump into that well, and they lose everything whatever they have earned. whether it's in a stock market or whether it's in a futures or whether it's in a put options or call options. I don't know what is what. I'm not much experienced into that. But it is here that the people go by their mind. And even though their discretionary wisdom is telling something against, they just get dragged with the mind and just get lost from North Pole to South Pole.
Yeah.
So this
Thank
is a
you.
very, very important thing, and especially in a country like USA, when there are no restraints, there is nobody whom you are going to listen. There is nobody who can really tell you what to do and what not to do. Your mind becomes king, and if you don't know how to manage your mind, you may be lost. Means one may be lost, not you, but one may be lost. Better in India, we have so many checks and breaks with us. Even people around us can tell us. There is a society to check and keep the breaks. Sometimes those restraints are indirectly beneficial, but the direct restraint has to be your own guiding understanding, discretionary understanding. There was some humorous story that inside you, both the guys live, good guy and bad guy, wolf or bear, or I don't know what types of. So be on the side of a good guy. don't don't mix with the take the side. So Kauravas are also there and Pandavas are also there. It is the Sri Krishna Bhagwan. It is I am living as I am. If I'm is living with a correct understanding, correct wisdom light, which the holistic inner science is trying to shed around, then you will be on the side of Pandavas or the good side of the mind. And if you don't have that, then you will be on the side of the Kauravas or the mind which is trying to drag you to the other side. I hope I'm trying to cover the different facets for the common understanding.
No, no, that was very good. Thank you very much, and we'll have to practice on what you just said. Thank you very much.
Okay, we
And
have
that's
our next question from the audience.
Hi, Dr. Sailashananji. I want to thank you very much. I had just lost connection, and so I just rejoined. But I really appreciated your talk so far on meditation and knowing and seeing neutrally. Just to introduce myself, I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm in the pharmacy realm. I'm an inpatient pharmacy supervisor at a hospital. But one of the things I also enjoy in my spare time is learning about nutrition and particularly Ayurvedic science. So my question is about nutritional intake and how that affects the mind.
okay. Another good question. We'll take that up. So before joining to your question, a last sentence to Rajni Bhai's talk, which was going on. Holistic scientist lays entire emphasis on the understanding part, correct and incorrect. If you have a correct understanding, like everything will function to according to your goal or purpose, and if you have incorrect understanding, it will function other way around. It's something like we are doing some experiment or we are preparing something. If I have a correct understanding, it will give me the desirable results effortlessly. If I don't have correct understanding, no matter how hard I try, I'll not get the desirable results. Rather, I'll get more and more puzzles. Having said that, let me come to the nutrition part of Mrs. Avni, if I'm rightly spelling your name. So
Yes.
she's talking about the nutrition part. So nutrition means intake, and here intake, no sooner I say intake or a food, the people say it's a gross intake. Yes, it's partly true. The food we take, the liquids we drink, the air we breathe is the, I would say, our food on a grosser level. But then there is a subtler food also. The food we are taking means intakes or inputs through our five senses: what we see, what we hear, especially, and then rest of the things. So the world provides us the food, or we opt to take our food in a gross level by diet, drinks, and air, but on a subtler level through the five senses, through the eyes and through the ears. So I lovingly say food for body, food for mind, and food for soul. And this holistic inner science is, in a way, showing us the direction of food for mind and food for soul. Food for mind definitely includes food for intellect or wisdom too. So having said that, on a grosser side, it is said that the atoms and molecules of our food, the diet, and the liquids we drink do affect our body and mind. Suppose I go to a restaurant and have order pizza and take it. Yes, my tongue may relish it and my mind says, oh, pizza was very nice. But the atoms and molecules of who prepared it, what was the environment, and what does have the impact on my thoughts and my reflective consciousness. As against that, suppose I have taken simple, freshly cooked food at my home, then my mom may have prepared it, or you may have prepared for your husband, and your husband may be able to see the difference, how the mind's thoughts or reflective consciousness gets affected differently by the homemade fresh food or by the outer side foods. So this is one way that those who are wanting to progress on an inner holistic inner science side for good, those who want to keep their mind positive and pure, those who want to keep the reflective consciousness somewhat positive according to their goal or somewhat pure, should be selective in the food intake also, especially unless inevitable. Try to avoid the outside food. At least don't take it as a hobby or as a thing to enjoy, but take it as a necessity only, and rather try to have the freshly homemade food. I'm not going into other subtleties of it because it will be too much. Even in homemade foods, we have different tastes and six tastes, and there are different categories: tamsi food and sattvic food. But leave it aside, and rather I love to go for the food of our mind and food for soul. So in this present world, you have everything. You open the internet, you Google, and you open the YouTube, and you have everything for you, from the positive to the negative, or from the what I would not use, but from one end to other end. And it is in your hand, choices. What do you want to observe? And believe me, our mind says, okay, I enjoyed this porn film for 5 minutes, and okay, that's fine. What's wrong? And that's left alone, and I'm going to job. Believe me, each and everything leaves impression on your mind and on your reflective consciousness, positive or negative. Unless you wash it, it will keep on working for your future inner as well as outer self activities. So be selective for providing food to your mind, especially through your five senses: what you watch, what you read, what you opt to hear or listen. You can listen to holistic inner science talks, and you can listen to something else also. So everything has impact on you. People say, oh, it is coming free of cost. YouTube is free of cost, Google is free of cost, so many things are free of cost. But free of cost is the costliest thing in the world. That is the holistic science aphorism. Why? Because it will make you habituated, and once you are habituated of it, you are slave of it. They know that you are going to shell out the money from your pocket. Initially you will not be happy to spend money onto that, so they make you slave. They make you habituated by throwing the freebies, free things to you. So free is the costliest thing in the world, and it is not coming without the cost of your time. You are putting in your time. Time is your biggest asset. Time means your state of being, your reflective consciousness. Use of your mind and intellect is the biggest asset with you. And how you are using day in and day out is your asset. It is asset of your human life. Be selective. It's not the people say dollar is my asset. Okay, leave aside everything. I have not lost my dollars. I have lost my day. What's big fun? There are so many days in the life. No, 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 no. Each breath is very important in a human life. And even if you don't realize that, each activity, seconds or minutes or hours, does leave impression on to your mind and reflective consciousness, and you yourself will have to wash it if you want to move other in other direction. So that's where the food for thought and food for soul becomes important to us, and that effortlessly opens out the door to our inner energy, our inner potentials, our inner understanding power, knowing power, seeing power, and our own inner bliss. So, do you want to have that dollar free inner treasure of bliss and inner energy? or you want to run after the dollar purchasable outer commodities as a food for thought and food for mind and food for soul is your choice.
Thank you very much. I think you expanded even further with that food for mind and really thinking about what you're watching and what you're getting involved in. And I think that took it to the next level. You know, I sometimes think about just nutrition, but it's also nutrition for the mind. And
See,
so that was kind of a thought
see
I
the
hadn't considered before. Thank
Avni,
you so much.
the people are living at a physical or a gross level, so they only think of the out and body. But how the body remains healthy? Have anybody any time thought about it? It is healthy mind which is keeping the body healthy. It is the diseased mind which is leading to the diseases of the body. Nobody has come to this. Sorry, but very few have come to this understanding. So holistic inner science takes you to the core. It is the core which is most important. People, scientists are now trying to reach to the core. What is at the core? God particle, neutrino, or beyond that, which is at the core, which is important for the grosser things. So it is my core, my inner state of being, my mind, my inner self, which is really going to keep my body harmonious, which is going to keep my energy level, even at the body level, at my aura body level, at subtler energy circles level, going to keep harmonious. So the inner self, that is why I said what is more important at the outset, within or without. So it is the things within me which are more important than without. So even if the body is little weak, if my mind is healthy and strong, it will take me a long way. So holistic scientists said, what is more important, the physical strength or a strength at the level of your speech, at the level of mind, and at the level of soul? And in the histories have said that Rajchandra was a very frail body person, Gandhiji was a very frail body person, and so to say, holistic scientist Dada Bhagwan was also a frail body, having a frail body structure. But they have left impressions on the entire globe for the centuries to come through their strength of mind, through their clarity and purity of mind, through their strength of soul. So we should aspire for the strength of my speech, Vachanbal, strength of mind, strength of my soul, and through the clearer and purer understanding and correct understanding.
Thank you so much. That was very beautiful. Thank you.
And that doesn't undermine the importance of body or nutrition, but that puts the nutrition, outer nutrition, also into proper perspective. And if
Yes.
I add a little more secret to your question, do we take food, or our inside drags, the food is being dragged to us? Suppose 10 items are put on your plate. So even before you really think and choose, your hand will go to particular item and your hand will reject certain item. So it is your inner atoms and molecules at the level of mind and inner self which is dragging the food, which is pulling the food, which is rejecting the food. That's a subtler secret the holistic science has revealed. Nobody knows that. So it is inside which is controlling outside. That is why I put the first question, who is driving us? Means who is controlling, deciding our activities or actions at the grosser or physical level? It is our inner self which is driving the outer self. There are so many perspectives, but I'm trying to connect it in a very sort of level which the people can understand.
It's
So
wonderful.
be aware and be observant and be vigilant about what is going on within, and the outer things will fall in proper perspective. If the things are proper within, the outer will be automatically proper. If the things are meshy within, the outer will be meshed, even whatever you try.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So we have a time for one really quick question. So let's go to the audience for one last question. I think okay, go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Salish Ananji. I hope it's a quick question. It's just simply for the fundamentals. Just to give a little bit of my background, I also share the same industry as Avni does. I'm also a pharmacist. And I feel like it's important to understand the mind to be able to accomplish the tasks and purpose that we have on our daily as our daily goal. And so you stated the mind is a tool, and tools are a means for accomplishing a task or a purpose. So what is, in short, what's the task or purpose for which we should consciously use our mind in the development of our life?
Another very important question. The time may not be sufficient for that question, but still I'll try to touch it, and we'll continue it some other time if the time is over. So Sejal is leading to another very, very important question, that what should be the purpose or the goal for which we should be using our mind. It's like a question that whenever you sit in your car and ask for directions, your GPS system asks you, please feed the destination. Without destination, without knowing the goal or purpose, where would it leave it to you, even if it is a powerful Mercedes-Benz car? So, very humorously to say, we should be aware of what really we want to have in our life. So, if I say in a relative terminology, in a day-to-day living, everybody is seeking happiness. Sejal, is it right? Whether it is at a job, whether they are family relations, or whether they are social relations, or whatever. So
Absolutely.
happiness is one simple single word. And now I should have the understanding that how the happiness can be availed. So the holistic inner science gave you the understanding which we talked in the previous sessions, that no sooner I try to make somebody happy, no sooner I try to oblige somebody, no sooner I try to help somebody, even I have not done in action, only I have decided at the level of mind, I start becoming happy fast. Suppose you are a pharmacist and you are standing on a desk dealing with the customers. You can deal with them professionally also, and you can deal with them along with profession, along with the human touch also, that you can be caring, loving, compassionate. Oh, what's your illness? Okay, this will surely heal you. If not, you can come back. I'll try to help as much as I can. So the doing the duties, but with human touch, with good heart, human heart, loving, sharing, caring, obliging. And you can see that the day is different, the action is different. So one purpose is for my own happiness. I'm resolving that let my mind, speech, and body make one and all happy. Let my mind, speech, and body be obliging to one and all. Let me open the happiness shop, and let my mind, body, speech, and body not hurt any living being. With this guiding understanding, you can decide to have a good job, you can decide to have good earning, you can decide to have a house. That's not wrong. Decide that, but keep the attitude that in whatever way I should be making the people happy, I should be obliging to the people, I should be loving, caring. They are me only, they are not different, there is no other in the world. So that is on the relative front. And on the real front, if you are keen on having the lasting happiness, because all these things are coming and going, comes and goes, comes and goes. You have watched a nice movie and excitement for how many times, for how long? Half an hour. Then you get tired and bored and you seek another toy. Okay, I'm now tired of this thing. So if you are in search of a lasting happiness, then seek what is a lasting within me, or who am I within all this ever changing thing. What is one which is permanent, which is what is the core of my being, what is the existential qualities of my core of being, or my pure self, and that will lead you to lasting happiness. So to summarize, how should I use my mind is keeping these two guiding lights, that in a relative interactive world, I should have the guiding light that let my mind, speech, and body not hurt any living being, but make one and all happy. And within me, I should have the search or a quest that what's my inner self and who am I. And then you can have all the relative goals according to phases of your life. So now you are young, so you will have a goal of building up your family nicely, having nice, happy, harmonious bonds with your husband. If you in future you may have kids, then you may have a goal to become a good mother, that you can raise your children overall, not only academically, but value wise, inner progress wise. So similarly, as the phases unfold in front of you, different phases of life, people will have different relative goals, and that's fine, but the guiding principles will be there with you. So those guiding principles will be helping you. Am I to the point, Sejal?
Absolutely. Yes, that's
And
actually very applicable.
yes, and that will keep on helping you. A good father doesn't become only a good father by giving away the money. Okay, son, you want a bike? Okay, have it. And you want to this, and okay, have it. And you may be instrumental to spoil your child. So good parent always has to look around all the corners, and the character of the parents is very, very important for the upbringing of the children also. So with this holistic science understandings, it will keep on guiding you each and every phase at your mind and intellect and every level, and it will make you able travel the correct way, providing you the energy also, providing you the method also, and it makes the things very, very easy. Jai Sachidanand. I'll conclude that if you have the correct guiding light, things are, everything what you want will come correctly and effortlessly to your way. If you don't know the things correctly, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many ways you try, you may not reach to the aim or destination really you are wanting to. And that's where the puzzle is, that so many people have been trying very, very different ways: yogas, meditation, spiritual faiths, beliefs, somebody modern science and whatnot, but everybody is still feeling that still my aim or goal or desirable result in inch or a foot away from me, where the holistic science just tries to have complementary and supplementary light to what one is doing. Holistic science never says that leave what you are doing, do keep on doing whatever you are, but do it with a correct understanding. That's the only message. Goodbye to everybody, see you again, and please pass on your feedbacks, positive or negative, so that will help us in traveling together on our journey of holistic inner science. This is not teaching, but this is touching the hearts of the people. We are sharing, trying to share the hearts of the people. And one last word is, holistic science says that when the heart will guide the intellect, the world will be very happy. Right now, the intellect is guiding the heart or superseding the heart. That's where the puzzles are. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you, Shailesh Anandji. Some last few comments. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Additional information about holistic science can be found at our website, hscrf.org. We covered a lot of topics on mind today: how to manage mind, what is mind, how is it formed. Our next talk will be on Sunday, April 26th at 8 p.m. Central Time. Stay tuned for the details. And HSCRF is going to conduct live seminars starting in June. The first seminar will be held in Chicago on Saturday, June 6th. Again, we will be providing additional information at a later time. Thank you again for joining. Thank you to Shailesh Anandji for elaborating on holistic science. And good night to everyone.